Friends and classmates, welcome to the graduation of the class of 2004. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for being my captive audience today. Rarely does one have the opportunity to address 88 of one's most intelligent acquaintances. Perhaps you don't realize that your exceptional talent can be exceptionally intimidating. I've been agonizing over this for weeks. Upon what subject should I choose to indoctrinate you at what could be our last meeting before I send you all out into the world to spread beauty and light? Choosing a speech topic is harder than it looks, you know. What is to be done was too ambitious, and the meaning of life was too cliched. Good luck was too trite, and Alex already reserved "Have a great summer, guys" for his speech. So, in the end, this is all I have for you. Mr. Edwards has a screensaver on his computer that says, "Give a damn." And I think that's very important. Not that Mr. Edwards has a screensaver on his computer, because, well, a lot of people have screensavers. But the "give a damn" part, I think it's worth following. In fact, I think that if you take only one thing away from your Hackley experience, it should be that. Because of all the dangers in this world, apathy is one of the greatest. Hackley has prepared us to go out into the world as interested, passionate people. People with ideas and people with opinions. People who give a damn.
Wait, Amy, hold on.
Excuse me? What?
I don't know. You know what? I refuse to believe that the most important thing Hackley has taught us is to give a damn. From day one, we have been learning how to think and understand. In kindergarten, they hand us building blocks, not ethical dilemmas. As Mr. Clark has repeatedly told us, it's good to know stuff. In the classrooms, we have spent countless hours memorizing facts and writing essays. Are you saying that all of our hours of work and study have been for nothing? Knowing stuff is how the world operates and progresses. Scientific discoveries are built upon centuries of collected knowledge. Doctors are able to diagnose illnesses and save lives only because of years of medical training. Authors write well by learning and mastering the mechanics of writing. Professional athletes spend their lives training their bodies and practicing in order to achieve success. The movers and shakers of the world spend years figuring out how to move and shake. And the leaders in every field are those who achieve the best understanding. Graduating from Hackley, we have learned an enormous amount of stuff. But better yet, we have been taught how to think and understand. We are poised to become those movers and shakers. That is what we came here for, and that is the most important thing we will take from our Hackley experience.
Well, I don't disagree that it's important to know stuff, but knowledge is meaningless without passion. The movers and shakers of the world aren't always those who know the most. Take Winston Churchill, for example. When he was 18, Churchill memorized 400 lines of Thomas Macaulay's Lays of Ancient Rome. But that's not what made him great. Churchill didn't make his mark by knowing stuff. We remember Churchill because he was willing to dedicate his blood, toil, tears, and sweat to the preservation of his country and the world. We remember Churchill because he gave a damn, and he made others give a damn too. That's how he got himself into history books. That's how most people get their names and stories written down. After all, none of the people we studied during the past 13 years got where they did by succumbing to apathy. Not all of them did great things, and some of them did things that were downright terrible. But all of them shaped the world in which we live on a much larger scale than most of their fellow men and women. I'm not saying that giving a damn on its own will make you famous, because it won't. But it will give you that extra competitive edge. Names, dates, definitions, quadratic equations, that stuff will get you through high school. But it won't get you through the next 67.5 years of life. Somewhere along the line, you'll forget what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then you'll get bored. And you know what they say about people who get bored, right? That only boring people get bored. And I hardly think that Hackley's goal was to make us into boring containers of knowledge.
Well, you know, Amy, not all knowledge is fact. In fact, I have the knowledge to play the nose flute.
Yeah, but Alex, you wanted to learn the nose flute. You cared about it, right?
Okay, but our time at Hackley has been largely dominated by applying our knowledge and our ability to think to various situations. Think about the science fair projects in lower and middle school, or the 8th grade math project. It doesn't matter if we can't remember our specific results or how to draw and label the United States. What is important is that we were able to learn how to complete these initially daunting tasks and have become confident in our ability to think and rise to challenges. The Practicing History course in 9th grade was all about learning to approach history not just as a group of facts and figures, but also as something which we must constantly engage with our minds and a constantly evolving framework which facts fit into. Even in often maligned math, the emphasis has always been on thinking our way through problems and solving them by applying our knowledge. And after all, how would we ever do crossword puzzles without pooling our collective trivial knowledge? We have something rare and wonderful here, a community with teachers who love to teach and students who love to celebrate their knowledge. To say that we simply care about things would be to underemphasize or ignore all of that.
No, Alex. Think about what you just said. Teachers who love to teach and students who love to celebrate their knowledge. That's what makes Hackley so special, not the impressive volume of our collective knowledge. A bunch of people who know an awful lot of stuff and how to apply it, you can find that at any good school. But a community of talented individuals who really care about what they're doing and why they're doing it, that's harder to find these days. Yet we see it every day, both in the classroom and around campus. You mentioned the 9th grade Practicing History course and how it urged us to look at history in a new and different light. Why do you think they completely renovated the history curriculum just to make sure we all took the same course? Because the history department gives a damn about history. Enough so that they want to show us why we should give a damn about history too. Same thing goes for the math department, except they want us to give a damn about math. Same thing for the English department and the modern language department and the classics department and the music department and the visual arts department and the science department. Oh, and the athletics department. I mean, we're expected to give a damn about going to practice every day, right? And what about community service? Where does that fit into your whole know stuff spiel? Huh? Hackley students happen to be unusually good at showing that they give a damn about the world beyond the hilltop. Just look at what we were able to accomplish with the Lupus Walk. We raised what? Over $13,000 to date?
I don't think you're getting what I'm trying to say here, Amy.
No, I don't need to get what you're trying to say here, because first of all, this is my speech. I'm the salutatorian. I speak now. You're the valedictorian. You get your turn at the end of the ceremony. Or that's the way it was the last time I checked. I mean, Hackley is a traditional school. And, more important, you're wrong.
Am not.
R2.
Am not.
R2.
Am not to the infinity.
R2 to the infinity plus 1.
That's not a real number.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, no, no.
Okay, enough. I'm 18 years old. I'm graduating high school, and I am way too old for this kind of argument. I'm leaving.
You can't leave. I'm leaving first.
No, I called leaving first.
You didn't shot it.
Doesn't matter.
Does too.
Does not.
Does too.
You